Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and today I present our concept PriView on behalf of my co-authors Ahmed, Robin Piening, Yomna, Abdelrahman and Florian. So today users are surrounded by ubiquitous devices that collect data about them. To give you a few examples, imagine some daily life scenarios like a rental apartment, a museum or a train station, which are places that might be unfamiliar to you. At the same time, data collection might happen in places that are familiar to you, such as a friend's place, your office shared kitchen, or your daily way to work. Note that we also pick these examples to cover private, semi-public, and public spaces. However, users are oftentimes unaware of this data collection. To address this in such and also other scenarios, we built PriView. And with PriView, we can visualize potential privacy intrusion by ubiquitous devices. In this paper, we present two prototypes on two output devices, namely a handheld mobile application and a hands-free head-mounted display. We investigated both in a user study. For the mobile application, we implemented 5 different visualizations. And participants conducted search tasks in our lab using these visualizations. The visualizations were covering various information about devices, for example, bounding boxes just framing the device, text labels with additional information, 3D shapes indicating the device's tracking space, sensor icons, and then also highlighting thermal hotspots on the device using the thermal camera. And then we built a second prototype in a head-mounted display, which served 2 purposes. On one hand, it is another modality that is hands-free, but it also allowed us to implement the sample scenarios that I showed earlier using virtual reality. For the head-mounted display, we again implemented 5 different visualizations and showed them to participants in all 6 sample scenarios. These captures here are taken from the rental apartment scene. Most of the visualizations were similar to the mobile application, so we again had these bounding boxes, text labels, and 3D shapes indicating the device's tracking space. But we also had 2 that were specific to the HMD, namely this permanent warning indicator here, and then also we had some floor markers, again indicating the area where users would be tracked by the device. In these scenarios, we did not have a concrete task for participants, but they could explore the environment freely. So that was both of our applications, and I'd now like to give you a quick overview of our results. We found that participants overall liked our concept. They found it interesting, easy to use, and also fun. And also they stated that it could actually help to increase their privacy awareness. We also found that the amount of information, of course, needs to be balanced with visual overload. So for instance, in places where participants would already expect data collection, they would expect the PriView to provide less details other than in places where they would not expect data collection. Also, they wished for it to be interactive, so a common suggestion was to have this kind of permanent indicator, but then provide details on demand. Lastly, PriView should not only protect the privacy of that person using the application, but also others' privacy. So for instance, participants were concerned that their personal information could be revealed to others using PriView. To summarize, we built 2 sample implementations for our concept PriView, namely one handheld mobile application and one hands-free application in a head-mounted display. We implemented various visualizations for each of these prototypes. We found that PriView can increase privacy awareness in various use cases, that balancing the right amount of information and visual overload is highly context-dependent, that PriView should provide mechanisms to interact, and lastly, that PriView needs to consider individual privacy needs and potentially provide mechanisms to opt out being shown to others. For more details, I'd like to refer you to our paper. With that, I'd like to thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to the Q&A session.